Ladies and gentlemen, Caster Semenya has won three world championships, 2 Olympic gold medals, and her first Olympic gold medal was won when she was forced to take hormone suppressants. Today we are here to celebrate an athlete, an icon, an activist. We are here to celebrate and have a conversation with the Winnie Madikizela Mandela, the Charlotte Maxeke, the Rosa Parks, the Helen Joseph, the Lillian Ngoyi, the Rahima Musa, the Sophie de Bruyn of our generation. Yes. Now, as you have seen in the program, speaking of phenomenon women who strive for change and empowerment, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Ms. Machaka who is the director at the University of Johannesburg Center for Entrepreneurship, who is going to give us the welcoming address today.
As your host today, and on behalf of the Dean, Professor Randall Carolison, it is my honor to welcome you to the Johannesburg Business School, which is a business school of the University of Johannesburg. We all have gathered here for the book launch of Caster Semenya titled The Race to Myself. And if you have read the book, you may have come across in the first few pages that says, which is quite profound, I think, it says, for those who are born different and feel they don't belong in this world, it is because you were brought here to create a new one. Who is really threatened when you dare to be yourself? Now, as we delve into this in Caster's journey, let us reflect on our own experiences and consider the times where we too felt we were discriminated against, or we felt unjustly judged by circumstances and the people who were around us.
But it's a great honor for us to host such an icon. There's no other words to describe Caster. This is something that we can wake up in the morning and feel good to be South Africans. And she's been coming a long way. I mean, the Springboks now lately, we've now all jumped up and down for the Springboks, which is good. But I've just read snippets of it. In fact, I met her the first time at SARS, when I was at SARS, and we hosted her there then as a inspirational speaker. And then already I was struck by this fierce determination of somebody that is not going to allow anybody or any circumstance to retard her from going forward, and to be a world champion on stage. Now, I mean, I'm not a world champion, but just imagine it, to run against the best every day of your life and having to get up and not feel sorry for yourself and come out victorious. So I want to salute you, and I think we are deeply honored to host you, and that you can serve as inspiration for our students and our staff.
Caster Semenya at JBS, and we are actually going to be discussing her beautiful book that is titled The Race to Be Myself. So Caster, before we start, I just want to urge everyone, please go to your nearest exclusive book and get a copy of this book. It will definitely transform your life. I personally had a beautiful weekend going through the book, and it's life-changing. Caster, you're not only an elite athlete, you are a human rights icon. You are the daughter of South Africa. In fact, for me personally, you're a symbol of resilience. And there's somewhere in the book, and the world actually would appreciate this and agree with me, that you're our first lady of sport. Hearing all these things about you, Mokhadi, how does it make you feel?
You know, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
But I'll say you feel fulfilled if you change, obviously. When you know your purpose, when you know why you are here in this world, and you're out there, you know, you're inspiring, you know, the youth particularly. And for me, I feel fulfilled. I will say I'm healed. It brings me smile, joy, and I learn how to appreciate, particularly because when I do sports, I'm fulfilled, I'm free.
Yeah.
But when I change lives, it's like when you say you are up to infinity, It's like you're in that age where life is like amazing, you're fulfilled, but you live for a purpose. You make sure that everything that you do, you don't want to disappoint, people who look up to you. When you are an idol to, someone, you always want to bring smile. You always want to make sure that you live in a right direction. You lead by example, but you live for possibility. So I'll say, yeah, it makes me feel, chilled.
Yeah.
It makes me feel, matter. I matter the most, but particularly because it comes within. I appreciate myself. So, young girls out there, they can, own their lives. I'll say, yeah, I feel powerful.
Yeah.
Power in me. It sounds great. So I'll say, amazing. Yeah.
I think you've actually touched on a lot of important things, the good, the bad, the resilience and abilities, but we're going to get into that. So I want you to take us on a journey. I really appreciate the fact that, Caster, you are unapologetic about how you're God's masterpiece, In chapter 1, it is titled, God Made Me. That is so deep, that is so powerful, and you touched a little bit in your response. But it also talks a lot about identity. And I remember reading in the book, you are letting us know that as a baby, you were an early walker, and there you are in the village. At some point, I think you were 2 years old. You see, she's smiling. So at 2 years old, your knees had bruise because you loved to run. You loved things, even like, how you beat up Biggie that other time. But so God made me. You touched a bit about that, but share with us the joy of growing up. Like, how was it? Was it fascinating also when your parents were telling you that, Caster, you just liked running things? And I can see you also now, like, earlier, you're just a doer, Yeah. But yeah, share with us your childhood. How was it, beside working also the spaza shop? But what do you enjoy more about, growing up in Limpopo, in that remote village?
Yeah, man, I think it's about the simple things. It's about the little things that you get, within the household.
Yes.
Besides, working at 7 months, going on the dirt roads, at 4, playing soccer,
Yeah.
being around my cousins. I think it comes with the love that you get from your parents.
Yes.
When your parents, make sure that you're happy. If your parents make sure that you're protected, you feel welcome, you feel wanted, you feel respected, they accept the person you are.
Yes.
They don't judge you based on your look. We always say don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
It says volumes, when it comes to how my parents allowed me to be myself. But I think they appreciated me because, God gave them a gift. They embraced it.
Yeah.
It's all about me playing around with my friends and that. I think it comes with the love and the support. And my parents, they made time for me. They made time to understand me. They made time to understand the person I am, what I like, what I don't like. They allowed me to be myself. So those are priceless moments that, for me as a 32-year-old, woman now, I appreciate that because they allowed me to understand my journey. They allowed me to be in places that I want to be. They allowed me to find my zone. They allowed me to find myself at the young age. And that, for a parent to do that, look, it's big because I always cherish that, for the rest of my life. Yeah, of course, we argue as, parents and kids, but the respect, it's always there because they made sure that I understand my identity. They sat with me down to make me understand that, look, you're a special girl, you like this, you like that, you never want to be around boys, but the most important thing is that do what makes you happy. And for them doing that, giving me that freedom, to express myself, to just find myself, it has been great. But then growing up in a village or the society that gives you the same treatment, it makes it easy because for me, I always felt, special. I played, soccer from like age of 4. I was brutal, my male cousins, they couldn't stand me. I scored goals. If you play me rough, I do it double. You understand? So it's one of those standards that makes you feel like, you know what? I have future. I have the power to own me. And then they'll be like, you look like a boy. I'm like, hey, you look like a girl. You get what I'm saying? So those are the things that when we say, when someone comes with negativity, you turn it around.
Amen.
You take it more as opposite.
Yeah.
If someone is negative telling me that you can't do that, I'm going to say, let me try, see if it can be done. As much as, Madiva said, it is impossible up until it's done. It's one of those things. I've been that kid with that childhood, beautiful, hunted. Hey, I smacked people. So I'll say, for me, I was born a winner because I never accepted a loss. Yes, failing is okay because it builds you. But I was one of those kids, my childhood, when I look back, each and every boy or each and every girl I grew up with, when they see me now, they smile. You'll see just a white smile, be like, she's gonna be crazy. You get what I'm saying? And for them seeing me where I am today with things that I had to go through growing up, and it'll be like, you're being questioned. It'll be like, hey, I know who am I. You understand? Even if a visitor comes and say, hey, boy, I'm be like, sir, a gal.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Because I was never that kid who feels threatened. If you ask me, I know myself. I know how I look like. I know how I dress. I know I have a deep voice. When you tell me, I'm going to say, so what? What is it that you're going to do about it? At the end of the day, my appearance does not define me. You understand? My actions, does, define me because of, I always say I walk the talk. When someone comes, I retaliate, but I don't act on those stupidity or anything. But I am that kind of a human who's humbled. I'm patient, I'm chilled. Even if something dangerous happens here, and be like, oh, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? I find myself and put myself in the situation. But what the society have done for me, that's where we say, it takes a village, to raise a kid, and charity begins at home. So I'll say, my people have allowed me to be the person I am. They never questioned me, despite of my differences. I'll say the childhood has been marvelous.
Yeah. Awesome. So now we're transitioning now into your teenage life. But I don't know if you read the book, guys. In chapter 6, Kasta was Tavi's. So you moved from your parents' house and you were such a good kid. I see you are sharing with us that you would wake up 5 a.m. in the morning, do your chores so that you cannot be disturbed, because you also indicate to us that running just gave you peace. It's your zone. And then now you have to move, and then you go into a new school just after your birthday. And then you said to these guys, you're Tabis.
Yeah.
Why? Why Tabis? Was it a matter of identity at that point? Were you feeling somehow? Because honestly, like everybody loved you. But in that new space, were you shaken, or how did you actually come up with the name Joy?
So when you flop, that's what happens. So, I moved from my village to my grandmother's village. When I remember I'm used to playing with my cousin, mostly my male cousins.
Was Salvation?
No, Salvations are still new. We still get, I'm talking about
the old ones.
The old ones, Bujaftas, and those guys. When I get to Failing Village, I get there, but my cousins misled me, because now when I get in, the welcome was beautiful, and they be like, let's go, because they know that I love hunting, they know I love going into the bush. When I get in, they tell us, so
that means swimming.
I mean swimming, yes. And we go together, we go to the dam. When we get there, I'm like, I lose myself a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to just do things that I've been doing, in the village. I swam with the boys there. They're there naked, all of them. I'm with the shorts, topless, like shit, and I'm there. I'm swimming. No, it was not a trick. That's when they say, when you being yourself,
Yeah.
You're forgetting that you are in a different space.
Yeah.
You understand? I've been myself there, only to realize that, ish, I'm still gonna go back to school, because I had an agreement with my mom to say, look, I don't want to take all my old clothes. Just give me skirts. I'm gonna try, see if I fit in with the skirts. Not saying, I want to wear them. No, I just wanted to be in a different, outfits. And I took the skirts, all those things. The following day, we go for registration. I met with these guys now. I'm there with them, hipsters, now I'm a girl. I'm no longer that type, so they saw. Yeah. First thing comes in their mind, say, hey, yo, that's my brother.
Yeah.
That was my brother.
You said you had a twin.
That's my twin brother. He's Taviso, I am Mohadi.
And he said, you're the same person, you look alike.
No, they say, you're the same person. I'm saying, identical. Yeah. And we get there, we go, those guys didn't buy it. And now we're in the same grade. I'm in grade 7. All those guys I swim with, imagine, they're in the same class. And these guys, they come to me, hey, that was you. I say, guys, Tabiso, he will come. And then months goes on. I get used to the village. I make friends with them. They discover that I'm good in soccer. Yeah. And the teachers at school, they say one day in the practice, they give me the shots. I go there, I slam them. They say, yeah, that's the one. I say, I had to come clean. I say, guys, where I'm coming from, I grew up with boys. Yeah. So that was a mistake I made, but it was never about me lost or, finding my identity. I knew my identity. I knew what I want. I knew what I wanted. And immediately after that, I tell them, you know what? Let me transform myself back to, where actually I feel comfortable, how I want to look like. You understand? I start playing football with them. I'm with them. Then that's where I come clean to say, look, that was me. I flopped guys because, I used to swim with my cousins at home, but then it was not a problem. But at the end of the day, I hope it did not offend you because, I've seen it all. You understand? So it has been that. But we're good friends as we speak. They always remind me of that. But what's fascinating about the story is they liked the person I am. They accepted me. They allowed me to be, in their space. I played, football since that day. I was young. They were older than me, most of them. I played, under 14 with them when I was 12. And always I've been strong. I've been firm. I've always stand for myself, and I'd be like, when you mesh with me, you don't know what you're gonna get. You understand? And I've been that kid from young, and they love me. We're still in touch even now. So, but guys, don't flop. When you get into a different neighborhood, and just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not, because that's where you lose your way. And that's what we do now as, the generation where you want to fit into the cycle, because you don't afford, you want to make them feel like you afford. If you don't afford, man, rock yourself. Yeah. If people accept you, they'll accept you for who you are. You understand? So that's me. I've been like that since ever.
Awesome. I like that. So now we're going to go to part 2 of the book. Because of time, I also want the audience to actually engage with you. And Kasta, for those that don't know, guys, Kasta is such an intellect. I mean, she got a scholarship from the University of Pretoria, and her soulmate wife now, Violet, has always been with her. And I just love your journey. I love how, you two are very genuine. And I trust that Orabile and Oratile actually have good parents. So, Kasta, now you finish high school, and then you got your scholarship, and then there is fame. And I like how you touched on it for the new generation, that if you cannot afford, just work hard, save, and then eventually you will live that life that you want to live. So that shows us that you're a visionary. And so you get to higher education. And then you went to Stellenbosch, you won the race. I remember you were sharing with us how now you have to improve your pace because you're moving from being a local champion to national and then international. So I want you to share with us how did you, I mean, this part too even touches about how you and Violet were actually betrayed by, I would say it's betrayal by one of the coaches who now started questioning, you know, how you guys were living after training. I mean, it had nothing to do with him. But I want to touch on the chapter because of time. Berlin, I was telling you earlier, that chapter, like, I was laughing, I was upset, I was crying, but I'm like, you know, Casta's just being herself. But before we get to Berlin, when you were tracking more, like when you were tracking with your peers at university, and God gave you all these coaches, out of the three of them that you mentioned in the book, who would you say like really invested in you, and what have you learned? What are the qualities that you've learned? Because you are telling us that to be an athlete, guys, it takes quality, it takes discipline. But now I just want you to share with us, because you also dedicated some, you know, words of gratitude to those coaches. Which one was your, I'm sorry, but which one was your favorite, and what was your biggest memory at that stage before being a global champion?
The middle one with this Maria. It's my idol. So I think, you know, when you connect with someone, when you have similarities, I think it's about the self-investment, self-management, understanding, you know, putting your priorities, you know, right, you know, learning how to say no, avoid, you know, complaining. I think those are the things that I've learned from her. But only value yourself. You know, when you set up your goals, when you say I'm gonna do it, you finish it. You know, you don't wait for tomorrow. And what I learned about her is about masterclass. It's about making sure that you practice it up until you can't get it wrong. And for us, it was all about that. And she tells me, it's do or die. You don't do it today, you don't know if you can do it tomorrow. So why waste time? You understand? I think Maria is one of those people that I always say, you know, I appreciate, even if we had just, you know, just 2 years, you know, of relationship as an athlete and a coach, but she was hardcore. We don't leave it for tomorrow. We do it today, we finish. But I think she taught me how to trust the process, you know, to know when it's right. You understand? To know when I'm in the right direction, because I had to perfect everything that I was doing. It was never about that thing that, don't worry, there's next month. No. For us, it was about you make sure that you hit the times, you understand? I think for her, she played a massive role, because I would say she awakened the heat in me. She made sure that everything that I do, I know the importance of, you know, the end goal. So unlike other coaches, it's a gut feeling. Other coaches would be, don't worry. For her, she don't take nonsense. You show up, you do it. We finish.
Winners win, losers lose.
You lose, you win, you win, but we still come back and work. So I think she's one of those people that's why she had, you know, 21 years of career. You can imagine, you know, she was a machine. She pushed me hard. She made me understand my body to an extent where I will know, you know, when I'm losing the race. I will know when I'm winning. I will know I'm at ease. When you see me playing around the race, looking around, you know you're in trouble. You see me, I'm at the back, you know that, you're still playing. But when you see me in front, you know I mean business. I want you to feel me. I think it's one of those people who made sure that I understand to lap to that extent where I know how to not lose. You understand? Because if you see the transition from when I left her to where I started on my own, the journey with new coach, being self-coached, you'll understand. There's no, I never lost the race. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that I'll say she prepared me. Sometimes I'm jealous that all the success that I have now, people claim it. Some that did not even work hard for it, you understand? But she did what she had to do to prepare me to be the best I am.
Yeah, that's powerful. I love that. Like, your loyalty, I mean, speaks in volume. I mean, for you, like, to still be with Violet, I think that's a true reflection of what loyalty, best friend, soulmate, like, integrity, doing right when no one is looking. So now I want to remind you of this one in the book. So you touched on page 112 when you said that you admired Mbu Laeni Mulaudzi. Yes. But before I get to how he inspired you. I like this part. You know, guys, I almost said pastor. Castor is...
I'm a pastor.
for the future generation. But like Castor, the Castor you see on stage is the one in the book. Listen to this part. So she says, you were talking to David, and then you're telling him, you're saying, Coach, I want nothing to do with this man. I can tell he doesn't think I'm human. He thinks I'm a horse, just an animal he can use to make money. Everything isn't about money. He's finished. Get him out of my life. You know who I'm talking about, right? So, but you must go to this page, right? It taught me the principles of business. She's an entrepreneur. You know, Castor will show you in the book how she could perceive, when she say, listen to your gut, how she could perceive a setup. When a contract had semantics and she could see, no, this is a setup. And this is for the young generation. How also another man had 10 to 20,000 US dollars. And your gut feeling told you, nah, this one, he will not steal my destiny. But anyway, we'll talk about discipline because I want you to advise the new generation. Those who want to be in business of sports probably want to be agents. Mulaudzi, right? How was your relationship with the person that you looked up to at university level?
No, it was a brother and sister relationship.
Yeah.
It was more about being constructive. He knew me from the distance. I knew him from the distance. But we coming from the same province.
Yes.
I always looked him through distance. But when he came across me, he tells me, you know what I see in you, I see something better than me. And I'm like, hey, you are Malauzi, man. You've been destroying keep guitar. And be like, but what I see, don't get me wrong, what I see, if you focus, you focus on what you do, you follow your heart, I'll get you someone who will manage you. Madala, which is Yuga, Harkonnen.
Yes.
And for me and him, it was just a genuine love. It was about brotherhood, sisterhood, you understand?
Yeah.
That kind of love, we didn't care about things that we have. It was not about that. It was just about, building one another. Imagine in 2009, he comes to me. I'm just 18 years of age.
Yeah.
He has been there deep in the championships. He asked me, how do I run my final? I'm like, are you nuts?
You're Mahad.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the only thing that I told him, I say, look, you're a big guy. If you dictate the race, you'll win it. They're going to follow you. You just always, make sure that they're just behind. When they come closer, one step. They come closer, one step. They will want to sprint last 100, and you have that last 100. You just run for your life. Yeah. You understand? And after the race, he comes to me and say, you are a lucky charm to me. You understand? I'm like, I thank you also because he gave me a guardian. If I may say, the old man, I've worked with him my whole career, the guy, he has went extent, we were like family, you understand? I'll say it's one of those relationships where you just know, when it's right, you understand? I never went out with him or do anything, but when we have to talk business, it was about the principles to say, look, if you wanna, be where I am, this is the direction you need to take.
Yes.
I'm not taking you through the highness, all those people, but this guy will build you. And I always appreciated him, when we meet, when we met, we had great time. I'll say he was like a brother to me, and, he's missed, because she never saw me cry, but during the memorial, you just break because you know what you have lost.
Yeah.
You know that you have lost a brother, you lost someone who was close to you. You understand? Someone who will give you, light. Someone who will advise you. Someone who will make sure that any decision making, it's good for the future. And I'll say this. And as much as you mentioned that, where I met with other managers where they will come and try to convince. For me, I can't be convinced by money. My friend, you can come with millions.
Yeah.
I'll look at you and be like, who gives you $1 million? No, who gives you $1 million now?
Yeah.
Are you going to give me those millions every month? That's me. I'm a woman of principles.
Yes.
I know I work for it. If I didn't work for something, nah. it's bye-bye. You get what I'm saying? So I will always urge, to each and every individual out there, work for your things. There's no easy come, easy go. No, yes. Shortcuts don't work. You reap what you sow. You need to sweat. You sweat, suffer, then enjoy. But the money that you did not work for, that's why you'll go for the Gucci's and Louis Vuittons, because you did not work for it. Yeah. You understand? You don't know the pain. You don't know how hard it is for someone to get those Benjamins. For me, I tell you, Osanjo Kobe. For that money, you work, you bend, you do everything, you sweat, there's blood, you understand? But, life is about choices, but the choices that we make determine our future. So what I will advise, each and every individual, follow your heart, take it easy, take your time. You are given a contract, study it. Understand what you're getting yourself into. Don't just sign. You sign, maybe you'll sign and say you're going to Dubai tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? So we need to start, take time with your contract, even if it's a month. They cannot rush you. Yeah. Get yourself into relationships that are with it, that you can manage. Don't just sign because they're telling you you must sign it by tonight. That's not a contract. Yeah. That's a setup. They're just getting you. It's a trap. You understand? So I'll advise you to learn how to invest in yourself. Know yourself, know where you're getting yourself to, trust the process, trust your instinct, follow your heart, and you see life will be good. You will not be, threatened by someone's success. Your success will come. Yes, Rick Ross says longevity, talks about longevity. Even if it takes him 10 years to build it, it's fine. You see, because we're talking long term. Me, I don't work with short-term goals. If you come here with a 3 months contract, I'll look, bye-bye, find someone. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just showing you that you need to know your value, know your worth. Yes. You understand? Because sometimes you rush for a 3 months contract and a lifetime contract is there. If you trust God, you trust the process, you trust your instinct, and you know your work, you will not settle for less. You understand? So know your worth, then life will be good.
Awesome. I love that. Let's give a round of applause. So just because we're going to open up to the floor, just 2 more questions from me so that the audience can also engage. So this is what I was talking about. I just adore your mental health. The Cobra, it's for a reason. Like, I just love it. So the chapter, let me just say 10 to 12. I'm going to talk about Berlin specifically. So there is Caster. She has made it. She, what they call the bomb, like she is the one, the it girl of sports. And then you went through a traumatic experience at the age of 18. And I think the nation don't actually know this. This book shows me how strong Caster is because she's just opening up now. So just to paint a picture, here is Caster with the rest of the team from South Africa. But she is sidelined to do a test by these doctors who obviously there must be an interpreter and they're speaking German. And I'm going to be very graphic. They ask Caster, take off your clothes. We want to confirm if you're really born a girl or a boy. Just imagine 18-year-old, right? And you know what? I told you Berlin, I was crying, laughing, and I'm like, yo, Caster Wampala. And then Caster says that, I realized that the devils, the wolves in the sheep's clothing have started, right? So she now makes them suffer. So obviously you couldn't beat them like Biggie, but this is what Caster does. So without wasting any time, this interpreter is telling Caster, these people are saying, take off your clothes. And she said immediately, she thought, I must undress and they want to touch my private part and see if there's a womb, if she's really going on periods and all of these. And I don't like talking about the chapter, but I'm going somewhere. And then Caster says that she tells the interpreter, tell them that they won't examine me from the front. They better examine me from the back. This world is brutal. They examined her from the back. And what she was scared of is that the system is really polluted. Our young African beautiful girl saw an object that looked like a fake man's private part, and they wanted to put it inside of her. That's why she refused. She said, well, better go at the back if I have to do number 2. She said she regretted, she should have done it. But Caster, for a girl child from Nigeria, Namibia, from Zambia, that looks up to you, for many children that don't know all these politics of sports, the trauma that you went through, that you never said to anybody except your team. And mind you, she still won the race after the trauma. But people don't know that Caster had her medal where Winnie Mandela and them met her, but she didn't get the money because of the IAF. I know I don't like talking about it, but that girl in that village from different color, culture, and creed, what advice would you want them about the system, and be as brutal as you are? Because I like it when you say, only afterwards I realized, no man, these people, they're not testing me the way in South Africa I'm being tested. They were trying to kill her spirit. They were trying to intimidate her. They were being racist. They were being discriminatory. It is not good. But I want you today, because I know that you say, and I believe that God is using you in service, for another girl in Akure, a girl in Lusaka, I can mention all the places in Africa, who is aspiring to be there. What is your advice? Because I know you're currently also busy with the biggest sports case in the world. That's what it's labeled in the world. In the sanctuary, there's never been a case like Caster, and she needs support, and we need to rally behind her. But let's go to that part. 18 years old, your teammates, they're not going through this. Why you?
No, thanks for that. Yeah, but to correct you with the money, my Benjamins. I've got my Benjamins.
Did they give you the money back?
No, they did. They
awesome.
did. What I can say, to all young girls out there in the world, you need to stand for yourself. You need to stand firm to what you know. You see, now I'm not going to talk about beliefs. I talk about what you know.
Yeah.
When you know who you are, you shouldn't let anyone come, and stop your dreams. When you dream and you have a vision, you have goals, don't let anyone, it does not matter who it is, because we tend to be desperate. For me, I did act out of desperation, and I've done things that I'm not proud of, you understand, but I did what I had to do because I had to be here today. That's why I say there's always a reason behind, someone's life and stuff like that. But what I can say to them is that know your rights. Human rights are very important. Know your basic rights. Stand for yourself. Learn to say no. Because when you allow, people to violate you, it may be the end of your life. You understand? Never allow anyone to tell you to do things to fit in. You understand? Do this for you to fit in. Just love yourself for who you are. Respect yourself, accept yourself, and just appreciate yourself and make sure that you have that relationship with yourself. Never be scared of rejection, because at the end of the day, we need to know that we as young Africans, we coming from a brutal, history where we were colonized, we were oppressed, we were depressed, we were segregated, from, other people, we were racially, abused. You need to stand for yourself, fight for what is right, because at the end of the day, if you're going to allow people into the space, into your private space, that you cannot come back. I've been through hell myself, but I learned how to, love myself, how to appreciate myself as much as I raised to be myself, you understand? It's one of those things that most of the girls now, they understand. They question. If you don't understand, ask questions. If you don't like something, say no. You understand? If you feel like you don't feel comfortable, find someone next to you to advise, because you tend to go through the procedures that will destroy your life, that will destroy your childhood, your teenage life, and you become, an elder before even time, comes. So my advice, it will be, if you don't understand something, Don't go through, procedures if you see that this is bigger than me, you understand? Don't be like me who's strong, who don't care, you understand? Because then I did not care. The only thing I cared about, it was a gold medal. It was for me to be, a champion, which is I did. But for me to be there, I had to sacrifice, my happiness. I had to sacrifice, my teenage life, you understand? I lived more like an adult, from, 18 years of age. I had to deal, with the scrutiny. I had to deal with the judgments. I have to deal with me, being forced to conform, you understand? And what I can say to all young girls out there, know yourself, stand for what is right, make sure that you don't do things that, don't make you happy, because your happiness comes, first. And I know there are young girls who want to opt, for this kind of a situation where they want to take medication to compete. You don't know that you're digging a hole that you can never fill up. You understand?
The after effects.
Of course, the after effects is more like you're walking into a dark tunnel. It does not have a light. No one will lighten up. One girl, from Uganda, she was operated without her knowledge. They lied to her that, this procedure works. And then after that procedure, she's a different person, totally, because now you've been lied to, to consult, ask questions. The reason why I write a book like this, I want to show each and every parent out there. This is not only for young girls who have suffered. I think it's also for parents, to educate parents about the differences that, we as a young girl, have in our bodies. There are a lot of things that they need to understand. They need to have more relationship, with their kids. As well as young girls, they need to start opening up with their parents, because if you don't make your parents understand you, they will never understand you. You need to vow, with them, to show them, look, I feel like I'm different. Can you take me through it? You have to understand that the condition I'm in, you might be here, you have that condition, you don't know. You understand? And we need to start going out there to find out about ourselves. I'll say, a young girl out there, if you feel like you're a little bit different, seek for advice. Go out there, find out about yourself, rather than being like me. People will just disclose, your medical, your private, medical reports, which is, I'll say, I'm the way, I'm the change, and I'm the change that I want to be, because I am here to educate people. I'm here to educate you young girls to say, I want to know myself. For me, I don't want to know myself for anyone. And I'll just advise them just to love themselves, to appreciate themselves, accept themselves for who they are. But the most important thing, respect yourself. Don't let anyone come with that disrespect into your body. Don't allow anyone violate your body. Be the one to decide what you want, not other party. So that's the thing I think, for me, I just want to, educate people about these situations. Parents, you must have a relationship with your kids. You are becoming the enemy, to your kids. You understand? You don't take time to sit and understand your kids. You're telling them they are devil. If she is a devil or is a devil, it's your devil. It's your seed. That devil comes from you. You as a father, you as a mother, you're the one who created the devil. You understand? Love that devil of yours. Embrace that devil of yours. Love your devil so any other can love that devil. You understand? If we as parents, we do not accept our own kids, God cannot give you a seed that is a rejection. A rejection, if you are not meant to be, you cannot be conceived. I repeat, if you are a mistake, you can't be conceived. That's why it takes them time to have kids, because it's not the right time. You understand? And for you as a parent, you're going to say your kid is abomination. That's yours. You are the devil. You created the devil. You get what I'm saying? If your parents allowed you to be who you are, allow your kids to be who they are. Be there for them, support them, accept them, appreciate them, make sure that they're happy. It goes in hand with we kids. have time, to know your parents as well. Try to make them understand you, because if we are apart, there will never be a relationship. For me, I was a crazy one. I'll tell my parents, this is how I am. I'm gonna be with a woman because that's what I'm feeling. You gotta deal with it. Make time to understand me, you understand? Imagine from age of 6, 7, me, I told them. And then when I'm 21, I come and say, I'm gonna marry a woman. You get what I'm saying? I'm not a rejection. If God created me to be in this world, and then they were able to, give birth to me, and I breathe, and I walk, and I live, I'm 32 years old. Of course, I'm his reflection, as much as you say.
Yeah.
We are the reflection of God.
Yeah.
So we, as the society, we are our own enemies. We need to start changing this perception of this is how a man should look like. No, it's not your job. It's not your job to say that. You are given life to live. Live life because it's planned by God. Some of us will be living our ancestors, we believe in God and all those things, you understand? So your job is to live life and make sure that you give love out there, you support, you accept. But you discriminate against your own, and then you think you're going to live a good life. No, it don't work like that. We need to change. It comes within. Love what you've been given. Embrace it so people can embrace you. I'm out.
Awesome. Woo.
After the humiliation in 2019, I just want to find out are you still burnt, or will you be able to race or contest in the upcoming races? And my second question is, what is Mokgadi doing now?
Okay. It's an ongoing case. Remember, I'm fighting big authorities. You fight the Swiss, you fight the Court of Arbitration, as well as World Athletics. At the moment, the case is in a Human Rights Court, which is we won. The Swiss appealed, so it's in the high chamber, which is good. It's one of those cases that we say we fight for life. Why? We fight for human rights first. Athletes needs to be treated with respect. You need to treat them with respect. Don't disrespect them. They are human. When you make any judgment, you consider their human rights first, which is we don't know what will be the verdict, but we believe that it will be, it will go on our favor because we stand for what is right. We don't discriminate any. You understand? So the second question is that, I advocate for what is right. I'll always, be there for the young girls to make sure that they know what they're getting, into. We educate them about, their rights, understanding, sports as a whole, rules and regulation. They must know when to back up. They must know when to, fight. And other things that me and Violet, we run Caster Semenya Foundation. We have Masai AC, where we run a developmental program. We have kids under it. We give them, educational programs. We have athletics programs. We make sure that, they get into, right schools. Take them from the rural, we get them to the private schools, especially particularly sports. We partnered with Boston. They get into higher education. But besides that, we run charity programs. We give sanitary towels, school uniforms, stationery, school shoes, training, facilities. We have that access that if they cannot access their facilities, we create those opportunities. We bring them into the cities. What else? It's a lot of work that we do, you understand? Actually, we more of building a human, first, and then gets to an athlete, and then, great leaders. So that's what we do. We're about going from grassroots level, we raise the bar. We make sure that we share the knowledge that we have and skills. It can be, financial literacy, it can be principles of lives, how to carry yourself, how to manage yourself. it's all about that, self-management, being able to control yourself, but knowing when it's right, to decide what is right, what is wrong. We just have to mentor them. Our program, it's more of all-rounder. Not everyone can do that. It's hard work to do, but with what we've enjoyed, with what we, as a unit, we've experienced in life, we like giving back to the community. We call it, in short, community work, so yeah.
How do you keep your mental health and not respond to some of the people that critique your work and the work that you do for the people out there?
I think when you know yourself, when you know what's good, what's bad, there's no such thing as bad publicity, you understand? But fame, it's something that don't exist to me. Celebrity life means nothing to me, you understand? To me, it's about humility, it's about respect. When, everyone has their, opinion, you understand? I cannot entertain your opinion. If your opinion of me is it's bad, it's just a 2% or 1%, in the world. I can't focus on 2% of hate, 2% of criticism, you understand? I only focus on that 98% that is positive, that 98% that, stand for what is right. And you speak about, social media. Social media is just a tool to engage. People may say hateful speech, they may say wrong things and that. That's not for me. It's for the page, you understand? But what's in my heart stands out the most. I know myself. That's why you say your identity is very important. Knowing yourself. I cannot entertain something that is written on the page. I always say to people, if you want to say something to me, come say it straight to my face. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not going to entertain the insults or anything. And it's worst part, the people who say all those negative things. If you go to Union Building or you come here where there's free Wi-Fi, you find them. You get what I'm saying? And no, I'm being realistic here. People who say negative things, they have no meaning of life. They have not achieved anything. They are living with anger that, why Castor is able to do that? Why Bonang? Oh, no, they work hard. If you go behind scene, see things that we do, I will not have time for that. I will have time to make sure that I invest on my time. I'm not going to go to Union Building or a park for free Wi-Fi. Don't pay my bills. You get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say here is that I don't focus on things that I cannot control, but I focus on things that I can control. You understand? My cycle is small. Yes, I know the worth, I know my stature, my dignity, my personality. The only time I embrace that's when I'm here making sure that I speak, sense. I install something great that make you smile. That's my job. That's my purpose. God brought me in this world to shake you all, to make all these people talk these negativities. But I'm about positivity. You may say something offensive and be like, hey, are you serious? You get what I'm saying? And I'm that person, I'm going to ignore you. You'll write it, and I post immediately. You say something wrong, I'll post something nah. You see, it shows you do not exist. You understand? So what I'm trying to say to you, do not be offended by, Marunyana Tausile, you know where I'm coming from. Marunyana Tausile, just a little bit of showers. Yeah, you see a storm. Yeah, I can focus because, when you come with word of wisdom, when I say, you know what, this is interesting me. Yes, I'll intervene. But negativity, a good life, they say nice time, yabalaya, There's not, you can't finish good times. But you value yourself. Your mental health is very important because the minute you start stressing about the negative things people say about you, you start forgetting about your worth. You start forgetting about the good things that you do. That's why they say, when you hit the highest level, that's when the devil comes. Be careful. You understand? So if you're going to be there on the page, entertaining them, you're going to be like them. So don't be like them. Don't be stupid. Just look at them. You know, yes. You see, yes. Just look at them. Even my team, they know. I'm be like, don't comment. If you don't like someone, block them and move on. You get what I'm saying? So me, I am that. I'm humbled. I mean, I like my space. I'm very selfish about my thoughts. I'm very selfish about me. So when people start talking nonsense, I just look and I sleep. And I'll tell you, they're only gonna talk about it for 2 minutes. When they see you don't comment, they move on. So my point is to you, when you see something that you don't like, if you know you can't control it, leave it like that. Find something positive and live through it. Then you will see young kids will admire you because they don't have any dent. They don't have anything to say, but you're talking about Caster. That one, Jack Daniel. You see, there's nothing to talk about. The only thing that you can talk about is like, Caster is a world champion. You understand? Caster always stands for herself. That's what I want you to say. Not that thing, but if you annoy me to that extent, I'll show you. I'll show you I'm a baddie. You understand? Don't cross the line. What I'm saying is that you don't cross the line. When you cross the line, you must go back to my Twitter. Even when you are a minister, I put you to your place. Yes, that's me.
I have to say, I've attended quite a lot of events with a lot of celebrities, but not one where you are so God-centered, so which is something I really appreciate. My question for you is, being somebody who has traveled the world and experienced other cultures, what's one thing you wish you knew as a South African citizen going overseas? What's something that you wish you knew about people and life outside South Africa? Because being an international student, sometimes I noticed that South Africans are very ignorant, to say it blindly, about life outside South Africa. So what's that one thing that you wish you knew going outside? And just to stand out from all the other people who asked questions, I also want to ask if you could please sign that cap for me at the end.
Okay, no, thanks for the question. The only thing that I wish I knew, not to be scared to explore. You understand? When you take full, ownership of yourself and trust yourself, trust your work. You understand? For me, going out, I always tell people, they always ask me, why don't you train outside? I say, because I have all resources. I trust that everything that I have here will make me the person I am. I do not need to go outside to be great. But going outside, go outside to learn. I think our people, we are scared to go out there, explore and learn and come back, build our own, future here. That's the thing that I wish I knew from a young age, to say, look, I don't need to be in the US to be smart. I don't need to be in the UK to be a great entrepreneurship. I don't need to be in the US to be a great businesswoman. No. I can still be that here. I just want our, this generation to understand that there are resources here, make use of them. I'm a graduate in my country. I'm a champion, I'm here. I'm great at what I do here. What I want, each and every individual out there to know, trust yourself, trust your resources, trust your system. If your system is failing you, change the system. I wish each and every one could, learn that. The only thing that I wish, I had in my mind growing up, that's the only thing to say, maybe for me to be great, I need to be somewhere else. No. That's the only thing I wish I could change. And since I knew that me being in my country makes me feel comfortable, make me feel I want to change, I want to be the change. Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change that you want to be. You want to see, you understand? I think if as an individual, everywhere, you may be in Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, everywhere, if you believe that you are the change, be the change. Be that change you want to see. I'll say, do not be scared to explore, even if you are here in this country. You can still engage. That's why we have social media, we have all these things. You don't necessarily have to be, somewhere else. Only when you are out there, that's the opportunity that you cannot get here. You get what I'm saying? You are here because you have opportunity for education. You are here because you have opportunity for great, education. Does not mean your country does not have, that. You get what I'm saying? My saying to you is that do not be scared to be in your own, soil, to explore, to make sure that you embrace that. That's the only thing that I wish I knew from young age, to say, look, I don't need to be a champion. If I have to be a champion, then I have to go to Kenya. No. I can still work here, I can still study here, be that great doctor. You know what I'm saying? Because we have medicine, we have everything. Not saying I'm criticizing anyone. I'm just showing you that as a youth, if we want to build our own, as much as we say Africa, because Africa is still, behind with a lot of things. You understand? We might be great, we might be big, all resources, but yes, we have not take ownership of that. You need to take ownership of yourself. You understand? It starts with you. It starts with me. Understanding the importance and the value of Africa. Stop going out there embracing some, other, continents. It starts with us understanding our value. You understand? If I knew my value being here, I would not beg for any competition. That's why I fight for Africans now, to say, hey, if Africa is very important, let Africa rule itself. Let Africa make its own decisions. If it's that so, if you're scared, but we, the new generation, of course, we'll get to that. You get what I'm saying? So my answer will be, I wish I knew that taking total ownership of my own, life, my own decision making can make me great. Now, I will never be worrying about fighting these idiots, allowing me to compete. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep, my man, it's deep. It's very deep. That's why we fight it. So we know our value. We're educating African, human beings to take ownership of their land. Simple as that.
But this is the Africa we want. So we want.
Thank you so much. You are very big when it comes to self-love.
Yeah.
And self-love is very difficult, especially private self-love. The things that you say to yourself when people are not around, it's very difficult. So can you just please speak on that self-love? It's like you love yourself. You speak very highly of yourself. Like, how did you get here? And one time you mentioned you compromise your happiness.
Yes.
How did you get here?
Yeah, no, thanks for that. I think it comes with identity, knowing who you are. I think self-love comes with knowing yourself. You understand? There are a lot of people who don't know themselves because they want to confirm. You understand? So for me, that self-love comes with you knowing yourself, understanding yourself. You need to know the better self. You need to have a close relationship with yourself. When you look at the mirror, you see, I don't put makeups because I like myself the way I am. Not judging people who put makeups. No. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? When you rock yourself, not saying when you put makeup you don't know yourself. You love yourself, you look good in the makeups. But it comes with decision making, how you want to do things. You need to make yourself happy before you can make others. You get what I'm saying? I can't make my parents happy if I'm not happy. Are you happy? Before you make any decisions, is that decision, making you happy? Does it fulfill you? I think for me, from young, I've always knew myself. I've always loved myself. It comes with self-appreciation. When you appreciate yourself, you don't question yourself. You don't doubt yourself. When you believe in yourself, you believe in the work you do. You believe in your path. You can never question yourself. For me, I am that person who, every day, if I don't want something, I don't want it. No is a no. If I'm not happy, I'm not happy. You understand? I think it comes with love, self-management, but being able to control your anger, you understand? Your emotions, switching, understanding when to say something, when not to say something. That's self-actualization. You need to sit down now. After this, go back and tell me how many things you have done that only makes you happy before you can make others. You find it's only 2. The rest of the week, you only been compromising yourself, your happiness. That's why we talk stress, anxiety. That's why we live under stress, because we don't appreciate ourselves. We don't make ourselves happy. You must be selfish about yourself. Sometimes when you get that paycheck, think about yourself first. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's self-love at its best. To say, I am going to make myself happy. If something does not make me happy, I don't make me happy. Even my manager knows. Even Violet here knows, my partner. If something don't make me happy, even if it comes with money, I'll tell you, no. Why? As much as it makes you happy, it must make me happy. Am I? That's the question. I think, let me not spoil it. Go find yourself. You get what I'm saying? Once you find yourself, you find the person you are. You will know. You understand? There are a lot of things that we do that don't make us happy. They make others happy. Yes, I can compromise my kids, for my kids, for my partner, but there's this other level. When I'm here, I'm here.
The lines.
There's a line.
The line.
You need to start drawing the line. Even in the book, I talk about the line. I talk about the zones. Sometimes take time just to pause and say, you know what? This is about me. Life sometimes, yes, it's about you. Self-discovery. You see, now we're going to talk about those things. Self-discovery, self-love. It's all about putting yourself first before you put any other. If you can do that, you put yourself. I draw a line. Even if I know that she can ask me for something, she knows I want the proof. You see, it's about self-satisfaction. Did you understand me when I say self-satisfaction? Satisfy yourself. Satisfy your needs. You see, when it comes to you, it has to be about needs. Do I need to do that? It's not about do I have to do it? Do I want it? No. Me, I don't work with wants. They know. I work about needs. It's about necessity. If it's necessary for me to do it, I'll do it because it makes me happy, because I change life. But if it's something that I know is useless, how am I going to do it? It's not going to make me happy. Happiness comes within. It comes with you being able to feel it inside. It's about the connection you have with yourself. Now I have that connection. And when I feel like, it's not the right way to do it. But like I said, it comes with self-love, self-control, investing in yourself, self-management, self-actualization. Those are the things. But also investing in yourself makes you happy because you already see the bigger picture. The minute you start seeing yourself, I'm nowhere, I don't know where I'm going. You need to go back and hold back and say, you know what is it that I want? Talk to yourself, you'll get the answers. When you talk to yourself, if you say something, because you hear it, you will know it's nonsense. But when I'm with her, when I say something, she's going to answer. She's going to give me her perspective. You get what I'm saying? That's self-healing. When she tells me what she thinks, it's no longer about me. It's about what she thinks I should do. You understand? But if it's you on the mirror to say, hey, today I passed through, Marble Wall, I saw that thing, I want that. Then in the mind, it comes back, say, do I really need that? No, Kes. No, don't go there. You get what I'm saying? So it's about you, self-introspection and everything. Then you will know. You will know and you'll make yourself happy. But if you don't do that, you'll always live for people. You'll always live for others. You'll always make people happy. But you can't make me happy. You can't make yourself happy. It's all about you. It's about you. I don't know if you get me. But if you go down there in your room, when you get there, instead of you studying, you're going to make your friend happy. You see, it's not about you. You can't be fulfilled. It should be about self-satisfaction. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. I don't want to go deep. That's why I talk about satisfaction. Satisfy yourself. Then you'll know. You'll know. You'll have that self-love. You'll have it. It's not hard.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I think because of time, we're going to conclude. And you know what, Caster? I believe that everyone is going to buy a book. I love how the last race, you even set the bar on a U.S. soil. No one has ever had that track record when you were racing. And you said that you knew that was the last race, but the Aluta continua. So ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude, can we just give a round of applause? We're done for this session.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.